Yo, what up, Lucid? We finished the DLC. So that's sick. Okay. Yes, import, accept. Okay. Save. Alright. Finally back to the main game again. Forgot what I was doing. It's the only downside with these DLC that really want you to play them into the game is when they take you away to play a completely different subset of characters, I forget how to control my characters when I come back. It's like I've got to have 2 or 3 fights to get like back into the swing of things. Okay, what the heck was I doing? The storyteller is ready to revive the ancient artifact. To do this, he will need 5 vials of magical essence. The storyteller seeks a page covered in an ancient elven script. They will help to shed light on the long-forgotten past. Okay, middle game. Order the Crusade's craftsman to improve a relic. Wait for events to unfold. The sight of numerous gruesome deaths is soon to become the heart of fun and revelry. The Count wishes to celebrate his birthday at the old estate. 4 statues posed their riddles to Nenio. Okay, that's fine. Mythic quests above the clouds. Your dragon companion claims that your good friends are waiting for you on a ridge not far from Dresden. Issue an order that will allow Irbeth to spend more time. Okay, need to do that next. Travel with Greybor to the Grimwood and set up an ambush for the dragon. It's funny, he said that there was a time limit on this, but this is one of the few quests that specifically states there is no time limit. That's funny. Find out how the demons are sneaking into Crusader territory. Scout out the ravines southwest of Dresden. A patrol from Dresden has disappeared without a trace. What happened to the soldiers? Were they killed? Were they kidnapped? Are they deserters? They went missing on the southern road away from the city. Know thy enemy. A lead could be crucial. It's not possible that the demons have left no trace. Terendiliv's scale might shed some light on the fate of the protector of Canabras, but much remains unknown. To learn the full story, find something else that belonged to Terendiliv. I found the claw. Alright. Goblin tribe was spotted south of Dresden. An unknown masked figure told the commander to go to a place called Heart of Mystery, promising the secrets of creation would be revealed there. Alright, I guess the first thing we'll do is my dragon, who says, on a ridge not far from Dresden are my friends. Did I manage Crusade Affairs already? 420 stream streak. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, that's going to take a day. So what I need to do... I've already done all of this. It's better to just leave. It's a good group. Okay, the commander's allies at the beautiful ridge. To figure out what that is. Forgot how to do this, man. I'll be honest. What is in my army? Trade. Combine those two armies. This one has people we don't know. But now I don't collect people at Canabras. They're at Dresden now. Yes. Because that's where the other army is. Okay. So this army... What is this? Ah, okay. How many people can I hold? 3. So my other army just needs to come here. Okay. So that's done. As you approach, dies down for a minute. That's him. Look at the butterflies. There's a dragon. Hello? There's a dragon here too, you know. I'm way more interesting than a butterfly. And it was me who asked Kang to come here anyway. Look who's a good little dragon. Ivy's a good little dragon. That's adorable. I know who they are, but if they, I mean, I'm a demon, and Kang, finally, we rushed here as soon as we heard what happened in Dresden. We brought friends too, except we've only just met some of them. Allow me to introduce them. Matrice Ola Davara, the illustrious exiled alchemist. Those formidable warriors there are halflings from the temple of Chad Z. I don't know. And goddess of battle and recklessness. This is the famous street artist Maestro Aventurne, a pseudonym, of course. Rare is the administrative building in Avestan. that has escaped his brush. Oh, rare is the administrative building in Avestan that has escaped his brush. And here in front we have the mounted gnomish contingent, a cavalry sculptors. We've all come here to help you fight the forces of the abyss. Weird. Why is Mazola exiled? Prejudice, that's why. For some reason, the people are suspicious of alchemists who worship Caden Kalen. They also consider my experiments dangerous, which is utterly preposterous, for one. Science comes at a price, after all, and besides, it wasn't I who caused the explosion back in Absalom and blazed half a block. I mean, I wasn't even there. Still, now that I'm surrounded by open-minded people, I'll be able to unleash my talents and show those demons that bombs can protect us as well as any prayers. Cavalry sculptors? Exactly. The cavalry sculptor are an ancient and revered gnomish society. In certain circles, that is. Our only rivals are the pikemen confectioners. But they don't have a noble legend on the tale that tells of the creation of their society, unlike us. According to this legend, a brave gnome knight once participated in a battle that lasted many days. He had to ride into battle down one and the same path. Past one and the same boulder. What? Soon he was fed up with it. He started to chip off a piece of the boulder each time he rode past, eventually carving it into a giant apple. The little game turned out to be so captivating that soon the knight's entire squad began to do the same, and then the enemy joined in too. It goes without saying that they were all gnomes. The war soon ended, but before it did, they had carved all kinds of fruit and vegetables into a dozen boulders and a couple of rocks, and well mounted too. And that is how our noble society was born. An artist on a crusade and a street artist to boot. Dusty galleries and pompous patrons aren't quite my scene. I only paint in the places where everyone can see my work and appreciate its special meaning. I used to paint flowers and the sun on the wall of besieged forts to make the attacking armies realize they were only destroying another's peace and joy. I once depicted the acts of Iomedae in a painting in the middle of Calaxian's capital, not because I worship her, but to remind people of Cheliax that this proud tyrant-toppling goddess was born there. I don't know yet what I will create here in the world wound, but I feel I must play some part in the salvation of this land. What are the goddess of Chelinda and her worshippers famous for? She's the goddess of mischief, battle, and luck, and a close friend of Desna the Moon Mother. Chaldira's not the goddess of strategic planning, put it that way. As her worshippers, we charge headlong into battle, leading others into the fray, and we despise evil in all its forms. My friends and I have long awaited to support the crusade, but this is the first time we've seen a leader we're willing to follow. Are you all going to join my army? Of course not. We didn't come here to march around in neat little rows like all the crusaders who've come before us. We are here to answer the call of our hearts, and we're going to help you in every way we can. We will all do something for our cause, but we are free spirits. We take orders from no one, and we certainly don't join other people's war games. Army discipline and the gray walls of Dresden do not stir our hearts. Yet I know that you are the winds of change we've been waiting for. In Canabras, I witnessed your kindness, bravery, and tenacity. I'll follow you straight into hellfire. All of us will. But we will each tread our own path. Alright, what am I going to do with you guys? I know what you need to do. Knight them. I mean, I've been told many stories about Galarian, and that's what always happens in them. Kang is the knight commander, right? That means he can knight you all. Ordinary knights are a bit boring, but I know Kang will make your oath really exciting. I like the sound of that. We'll be the Free Crusaders. What do you think, Kang? Just make up an oath for us and we can be knighted. And then we'll start our campaign against the demons and they will tremble before us. Let your eloquence flow forth. Hey, it worked. A wave of inspiration swells within you. Brothers and sisters, our paths have led us here to this place on this day because we are guided by the same stars and beckoned by one and the same dream. Ours is a dream of freedom and the triumph of light over darkness. I'm not here to rule over you, but rather to be the first among equals. As long as you are willing to follow me, stand up, brothers and sisters. Henceforth you shall be free knight crusaders. And you should have added something at the end like, cookies for everyone! Except we probably don't have any cookies. Well, I can fly off and bring some back. Ooh, wow, what was that? Where did it come from? I bet it dropped strawberry jam. It came straight from Elysium. I mean, I don't have any strawberry jam, but still. The big grown-up dragons in my family can transform their environment like this, but how did you do it? Your earballs? Sorry. Turn the stream down or something. Thal the wallflower scratches the bridge of his nose. We've seen something like this happen before. Kang, it was back in Canabras in the temple where we all gathered together. A glowing aura enveloped you and we heard music that wasn't actually there. Just all the same, a wondrous power dwells within you, and it's growing. My power manifests itself spontaneously. I don't know why it happens. We'll try to figure it out, all of us. I'll need Matress Ola's help, and others too. We'll set up a camp right here on the ridge and monitor any new changes. There's not much to analyze yet. I've only witnessed 2 cases where something unusual happened around you. Both cases were spontaneous, and both times you were surrounded by people who had been helped and inspired by you. The first time it happened, you saw a vision, but now a fragment of that vision has been brought to life. Who knows, Kang? Maybe you'll use it to heal the entire world wound just like you healed this patch of rock. Everyone says I've been blessed by the gods. Yes, but I'm almost certain this isn't the work of Iomade, or at least not hers alone. Your power, it's like a song of freedom, of lush wilderness, of the deep lingering of the hearts of Elysium. The warriors of heaven are too proud to possess or grant such a power. This type of power is brought into the world by Azadas, the children of freedom, and the deities of their plane, of whom Desna, our guarding star, is one. Alright, what are you going to do now? We'll set up camp here. Our learned friends will observe this Garden of Elysium and study it. The artists among us will start working on their art. I'll help the Chalderan halflings prepare to launch raids against the demons. The cavalry sculptors, I have no idea what they'll do, but I hope they'll keep themselves busy somehow. Drop by in a couple of weeks, will you? We will have settled in by then and may even have something to show you, but it's a secret for now. You forgot the most important part. Honestly, what would you all do without a smart little dragon like me around? Azadas have court. The Court of Silent Laughter, for example, or the Court of Flaming Storm. They always have such pretty names. People come to the courts freely and stay because they like it there, and they have affinity with it. That's why Kang has given this place a name. It's his court after all. Much like real Azadas from Elysium, the commander can give a name to his court, which is a company of his allies, and the place where they meet. I'll name it after my little dragon bro. It's Ivu's court. Alright, cool. Is there anything to do here right now? Probably not. Horse!
I lead. You follow. Onwards!
Okay. Someone on the road.
I swear it.
They really don't like Ulbrid, do they?
Begone, fiend! Die!
Get wrecked, dude. I've bit him! Sick!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
I will resist! Operare sentence.
Jesus, leave him alone. Oh, we're fatigued from running too long.
You won't survive me.
Oh,
Prepare yourselves!
The light take you!
Operare sentence.
Move out! Head on!
I sense something.
interesting. What did we get? Composite longbow 1, light mace, Baphomet cultist heavy shield. I don't think that's any good. No. Breastplate +1. Nothing really good. Okay. A diplomatic council is assembled and awaiting the commander at the headquarters for the first meeting. Logistic assembly is waiting at the headquarters. Military council is waiting. Wow, dude. Okay. Everybody wants me to go right back to Dresden. I mean, I can sleep here easily, right? So, I need to rest. I might as well rest here where it's free. And take care of everything else. That's one thing I will never be tired of, is just go back to the capital to talk to everybody. It's like, I'm out in the middle of shit. Why? Before you stands a tall, fit man whose dark hair is already tinged with gray. He greets you with brisk military salute. My name is Captain Selkind. I command a vanguard of mercenary groups called the Blackstone Company. We've come from Andorran to assist you. Tell me more about your unit. It is proud to be recognized as one of the finest Andorran mercenary regiments. We're not a bunch of unscrupulous sellswords looking to oppress the innocent and serve tyrants of the world. We're adventurers eager to get involved in dangerous enterprises that will leave our pockets full of gold. Which is why we held a vote among our units. We are glad to accept Queen Galfrey's invitation to join the crusade, though some of our commanders did voice their displeasure with the sum she offered. But like I said, the Andorrans are a free people who cannot be pushed around and who cannot be bought, only convinced. I want to know about you personally. I don't even know what to say. I'm a soldier, a bit of an explorer, and just an all-around honest guy. Why would you join with us? Queen Galfrey paid for our services, but please do not think we're fighting for gold alone. We are true sons and daughters of Andorian, and the ideas of equality and resisting enslavement ring true in our hearts. We'll be glad to stand in the way of the demons who seek to force mortal kind into bondage. The bulk of our company made camp in Narosian, but the vanguard, consisting of our finest soldiers, if I may add, was put under your command. Get on with your duties. Yes, sir. Glad to be under your command. It will be an honor to serve you. Commander, if you have any questions, let me know. If you need to talk, I'll be happy to lend an ear. Seems reasonable. Irba said that we are under threat from demons with unusual abilities, like the Nabasu that attacked the army at the Lost Chapel. They're very powerful and growing in number. You haven't found out where they're coming from yet, have you? I'm not sure, but I think I have a lead. I know where to find someone who can lead us to the source of their power. Who are you talking about? A hag by the name of Jurunica. Jurunica? She used to live here before the fall of Sarkoris, but when the demons invaded this world, she happily took their side. The old cannibal knows many secrets, you just have to make her talk. Does she have any special powers? Her, I doubt it. But still be careful, she's very old, very sly, and she's incredibly dangerous. Where can I find her? Place called the Green Gates. I'll show you how to get there. Long ago, before the world wound, there was a Sarkorian fortress there. The Crusaders built a small chapel, but not for many, many years has the place been a home for nothing but abominations and squalor. How'd you find out about this? That's a long story. I will tell you when we get there, okay? Thanks for the tip. Happy to help. It's just... you won't go there without me, will you? I want to personally make sure this monster doesn't escape you. Grandma Grelton, the director. Good day, your commander. It is we, the artistic board of the Next Door Theater. We're still working on our piece about your heroism. We've even taken on a few new crew members. We now have a stage master, a master of stage equipment and scenery. That's my granddaughter, Tina. Tina, say hello. We're faced with another dilemma. We simply can't decide on the climactic moment for the act that's all about the Battle of Dresden. Here, listen to the options. Option 1, the commander, that's you, launches himself out of a catapult and smashes down the fortress wall, allowing the armies to rush inside. Option 2, the commander, that's you again, masquerades as a succubus and creeps into Dresden in disguise and opens the gates for the Crusaders. Option 3, the commander, so that's you again, rides to the attack on an enormous mountain goat, or should I call it a battering ram, and it breaks down the city gates. What do you say? I like the version where I ride in on an enormous mountain goat. We're still working on that part, Commander. It's hard to get a goat in the middle of the world wound, especially an enormous one, but we'll think of something, don't you worry. She signals her entourage to move away, but their voices project so well that you can hear the rest of their conversation. Do you think the Commander will mind if we add the goat and the catapult to the show? That way there's a bit where he breaks down the gates and will make for more drama. Did you forget the role the Commander played and was being played by a Cyclops? How are we going to launch Lambkin out of a catapult? Where are we going to find a catapult that won't just break under his weight? Calm yourself, Tina. This is a minor snag. You can't achieve success without a few difficulties along the way. We'll think of something. Jesus. Captain Odan. Commander, it's honor to call this first meeting of the Military Council to order. I am Captain Odan. I've been serving under your command ever since the assault on the Great Garrison. I will do my best to be of much use to you as possible in this role. The foundation of the military is cold calculation and discipline. These are the principles I will seek to impart to all Crusaders. If we win the war, if we are to win the war, we must forget about mercy. For example, our enemies, for our troops, and for ourselves. Well, Commander, your sister Sela is no renowned general, but she spent half her life tussling with evil. It looks like I'll be stepping up on behalf of Iomede's faithful here. I hope my advice will prove useful. Demons aren't the first invaders to come to the land of Sarkoris. I know this country, and I know how people used to fight here in the old days. Listen to me, War Chief, and I'll tell you how to turn the land itself into our ally. The first issue on the military's council's agenda is the reorganization of troops. Our infantry has been bled dry. The forces Her Majesty granted to us were enough to take Dresden, but we need more troops to hold it. Furthermore, the army was assembled in a great haste after the assault on Canabras and was never adequately equipped. Unfortunately, we don't have time for redeployment. Our scouts report the powerful Baylor is already preparing a retaliatory strike on Dresden. But we can rely on freshly conscripted Mendevian soldiers. They may not have the skill, but our strength, as always, lies in numbers and the fervor of the volunteers joining the Crusades. We can't throw everyone into the meat grinder. We'll just get our youths killed for nothing. We need to select the best among the recruits, or even better, hold a contest. The bravest and most capable will join the Crusades. The death count is always highest in the infantry. Its purpose is to serve as a shield. It would be wise to invest our resources in hiring and training heavy footmen with shields to ensure maximum protection, even if it limits their mobility and makes them less threatening to the enemy. Never enough folk. Same in war as in peacetime. We deal with the problem by finding helpers among the animals. Why can't we do the same now? Strengthen infantry with war dogs. One soldier with a dog at his side is more like 1.5 fighters, maybe even 2. Who is the Baylor? The most trusted servant of the demon lord Discari. Among the historians of the Mendevian Crusades, he's known as the strategist of the world wound. He's not as renowned as Monago, the conqueror of Dresden, or Heps, the daughter of Baphomet, but he has claimed the most major victories over forces of Mendev. He's a general and quite possibly one of the best tacticians in the entire Abyss. I've been studying his style of warfare for years. He may seem like an ordinary demon, another typical war master, but that's a fallacy. Like a beast following a scent, he senses the weaknesses in his enemy's defenses and strikes at them, sending soldiers to bring targeted carnage. His uncanny charisma attracts more and more soldiers to him, so he's never short on troops and sacrifices them like pawns whenever he pleases in order to achieve his victories. He is the face of the demon host. For many years, I've been gathering research on him, preparing for the day our armies would clash with his once more. I hope my council will help you defeat him, but so far, he has known no defeats. What does the military council do? The military council determines the strategy of our troops, enacts army reforms, approves new equipment standards, and makes decisions on all issues regarding military action on front. I have a question for my advisors. Sela, have you ever commanded an army before? Not on the scale like this, no. But I've fought evil and I know its tricks. Besides, war makes people callous, and it's always useful to have a paladin advisor around to remind you of at a crucial moment what you're actually fighting for. Ulbert, do you have military experience? Do I have experience? Huh! I fought on this land back when it was still called Sarkoris. I led my clan on raids against our neighbors, drove invaders from our land, and I went to war with a band against orcs and giants. What kind of Sarkorian would I be if I stood on the sidelines now? Regil, why do you wish to sit on the council? I have command experience, and I intend to impart to the Crusaders at least a modicum of discipline and rigidity of the Hell Knights. The quality of the Mendavian staff currently available to you leaves much to be desired. That much is certain. And Captain Odan? I serve on the front lines in the Mendavian army for over 25 years, and in that time I've gained a wealth of combat experience. I'm considered one of the foremost experts on tactics and strategy in Queen Galfrey's officer corps. I've spent my life studying the craft of warfare, and I'm familiar with the thoughts of all prominent military leaders in the last 5 centuries. Furthermore, I wholeheartedly believe in the traditions of Mendev's military art, and will gladly share my knowledge with you. Let me hear the opinions of my advisors. Do we really need only the bravest and most capable in our infantry? I mean, we can't send untrained rookies into a slaughter. We have the right to command only those who are ready for battle, those who can defeat the enemy. We must find out who has the skill and the guts. Contests are perfect for that, and a little excitement for our warriors couldn't hurt either. We won't get that many winners, but their strength will come from their prowess, not their numbers. Your proposal will leave us with an infantry full of selfish risk-takers dreaming of glory and valor. This is bad material for a soldier. The infantry's role is to be a shield for the archers and mages. All they're required to do is follow orders and hold the line, unto victory or death. Ambitious loners cherry-picked through contests of skill are not fit to perform this duty. Why do you insist on shield bearers? The infantry is a meat shield intended to catch the blade of the opposing army in its flesh. The shield is more reliable. That is all that's required of it. That is why I would like to see well-armored shield bearers as our foot soldiers. We must leave the option of pitting ranks of footmen against a tide of rampaging demons, knowing with certainty that they will not scatter or die until they have completed their task. How will war dogs help our infantry, Ulbert? A loyal hound is more than just a set of sharp fangs. It's an extra pair of eyes, a keen nose, and another head in the way. It's no soldier, but it's extra fighting power. Since we can't get any more human warriors from anywhere, we should swell the ranks with 4-legged fighters. You just want to gather up more recruits from Mendev, Odan? Yes. Institute a draft and try to amass as many new soldiers from Mendev and other lands as we can. We've always drawn our strength from our zeal and determination to oppose evil. If we start holding contests or selections, we'll turn a holy crusade into a job for the chosen few and scare away any future volunteers. If we try changing our tried and true tactics, we lose valuable time, and our army is in need of fresh blood right now. The main barracks provides weekly recruitment growth for champions, powerful shock infantry troops. And all footmen are promoted to champions. The main barracks will provide weekly growth for shield bearers, staunch defensive infantry. All footmen are promoted to shield bearers. All footmen are promoted to houndmasters. What are champions? Like footmen, 39, 91139. Less hit points. Lower AC. More damage. Ugh. Slower speed. Significantly more hit points. 39 to 161. I kind of like the shield bearers. Let's look at houndmasters. More AC. Slightly more hit points. I kind of like shield bearers. I like the tank. I will monitor the recruiters, work with the preparation of all necessary equipment. Thank you for your time, Commander. When the new reforms are finished and the ranks of our infantry are replenished, I will assemble a military council to discuss new decisions.
You've marched me to the bones today.
A sharp-looking kitsune gives you a quick business-like bow. Matters before us are urgent, so let's not stand on ceremony. I am Lady Konomi, the official attaché of Nerosian. Here are my credentials. Her Majesty has instructed me to lead your headquarters diplomatic council. I was surprised when Lady Konomi asked me to join this council, but I will do my best to fill the shoes of a trained diplomat. Yeah, strange. I got invited to the council too, but I'm sure the foreign ambassadors will be thrilled to see my face and my manners. You haven't mistaken me for some other crusader, Lan, have you? I, like many nobles, have been trained in diplomacy, and in fact, I hold the title of Royal Emissary. It is passed down from the Arende line. I must say, prior to this day, I employed my diplomatic skills solely to undermine Mendev's international reputation. It is time to break that habit. I imagine preventing international scandals will be just as interesting as causing them. Who knows, I might even enjoy it. What's the Diplomatic Council, and why do I need it? To solve matters of politics, of course. The Crusade is more than just battles and sieges. It is the largest military project in all of Avestan, funded by the treasuries of more than a dozen major powers, and each of those powers, in addition to seeking victory over the demons, also pursues its own goals. The Diplomatic Council will manage this tangle of political interests and prevent the Crusade from losing the favor of influential benefactors. And while we're at it, ensure that Nerosian remains satisfied with the state of affairs after all. For the last 100 years, the entirety of Mendavian politics has revolved around the Crusades in some shape or form. That's why the capital has sent me here, to observe, offer suggestions, and keep the diplomatic situation under control. So you've been set to keep an eye on me. Whatever gave you that idea? I'm not an overseer, I'm your loyal advisor. I do not intend to meddle in the way you run things, just consult with you in cases where the high price of error is too high. Put your trust in me and we'll get along swimmingly. After all, none of us here want to see Cheliax and Druma at each other's throats, trying to settle their dispute by using their influence on us as political leverage. Am I wrong? And I doubt you would like it if we made enemies in the ranks of Nerosian nobility who would attempt to undermine your war effort. This won't happen as long as you trust my experience. Tell me more about the Royal Council. The Royal Council, operating under Her Majesty, is the highest governing body in Mendev and comprises her most able and trusted servants. It is responsible for day-to-day matters of state. They are the hands and the voice of the queen. The council has gathered people from all walks of life. Some of them are nobles, but many are citizens of humble origins who earned their positions through their wit. Many are rich, but a fair number of them are more humble means. Some are pious and pure of heart, like Lord Inquisitor Kasori and Captain Jasper of the Crusader Heralds. Others are more flexible and ambitious, but each of them faithfully serves Mendev's cause. I have questions about the composition of the council. Do you find someone's presence here surprising? Why did you choose Land to join the council? We diplomats call this little trick Mysterious Garundi Prince. During negotiations, it's always useful to have on your side a representative of some obscure and potentially populous and powerful nation. Without knowing what they're up against and how many mongrels there are, our diplomatic partners will have to contend with this dark horse. So, Mr. Land, you will be our mongrel prince. If we're negotiating with foreign ambassadors and I make this sign, you immediately start talking about how offensive their proposition is to the mongrel people. Do we have a deal? I suspected the word diplomat was synonymous with fraud, but I thought you would be deceiving me, not deceiving others with my help. No, that's not an option. I can represent the mongrels in negotiations, but I'm not going to lie through my teeth. Social has never had to deal with diplomatic concerns before. That won't be a problem. In my homeland, Tianji, I'm probably horribly pronouncing that, inviting clerics and paladins of Shelyn, the Lady of Chrysanthemums, to take part in the diplomatic missions is a common practice. They may not be politicians, but they advocate peace. They are perceptive, advocate peace, and favor balanced solutions. I'm flattered by the respect of the worshippers that my goddess receive in Lady Konomi's homeland. I won't let you down, Kang, and I'll make every effort to prevent our friends from becoming our enemies. Why did you want Darren to take part? Why, because of Count Orende's influence, naturally. He's a Mendevian aristocrat. The nobility will be inclined to listen to his position, and by ensuring the support of the nobles, we will find ourselves powerful allies. Oh, believe me, Lady Konomi, I will exert all my effort and influence to make this council's job exciting. Tell me about yourself. Who are you? It's unbecoming of a diplomat to talk about themselves at length, but how am I to refuse you? I come from Tianji. I am a noble kitsune. Like any kitsune, I have always been curious to a fault, and my adventures brought me to Avestan. And here in your lands, I met my first and true love, politics. I've served as a diplomat in the courts of 6 different sovereigns, but working for Her Majesty turned out to be the most interesting at all. Such riveting webs of intrigues and interests are spun around the Crusades and the World Wound. Why don't we discuss our first pressing diplomatic issue? I hate to say it, Commander, not everyone in Nerosian is pleased with your progress. Some believe that, to use their words, you are out of control and fancy yourself an independent leader. It wouldn't surprise me if you encountered supply disruptions in the near future. I would suggest quelling their anger. Show the capital you haven't forgotten about the chain of command. For example, how could you hold a parade in honor of Her Majesty? Oh, for example, you could hold a parade in honor of Her Majesty. If we need to demonstrate that we're keeping Nerosian in mind, why don't we invite the capital's high priest to Dresden for a religious festival? It'll be appropriate, and the church's support will shield us from the accusation of schemers. Pander to the naysayers? I think not. I propose we hold a parade in your honor, Kang. This is your victory, and if Cousin Galfrey wants to show off in front of the soldiers, she's welcome to capture something of her own. Lan's eyes flash with anger. Are they out of their mind? We've got a whole Dresden full of soldiers who need medicine, food, and weapons. Until everything has been taken care of, we can't waste a single coin on pointless celebrations. What did I do to incur Nerosian's discontent? You were too good. You reclaimed Canabras. You won the Battle of Dresden. You're a menace to the World Wound. Your authority grows, and the influence of the Queen's confidants diminishes. This creates an impression that there's only enough space for you at the top. The members of the Royal Council are afraid that you will muscle them out of the political arena altogether. After all, if you're doing so well, maybe Her Majesty doesn't need them so much. Therefore, they might try to discredit you, impede your war effort, reduce the scale of your victories. Make some concessions and they'll see you're open to negotiations. I want to hear the opinions. Whatever for? Aren't the wishes of the capital obvious enough? Although, very well, let's hear from the council. What good will a parade in Her Majesty's honor do? It will be symbolic and affordable. Show them how much you respect and value Her Majesty. Make a curtsy to those who pay for your arrows, swords, and bread. The Royal Council has power. You wouldn't want to turn those patrons into adversaries and test whose influence is greater, yours or theirs. Please them, and they will stop worrying about your loyalty, and you will be able to focus on the war. So let me get this straight. Hiding behind our backs and buying their safety from a demon invasion with bread and other people's lives is a new form of charity? Are you sure we shouldn't go to them, drop to our knees, and thank them for allowing us to die in this war? Darren, what's the point of taunting the capital by throwing parades in my honor? There's a fine line between taunting and setting boundaries, and between showing respect and putting on a collar, mind you. I'm not suggesting anything treasonous or disrespectful. A parade in honor of the true hero of Dresden and Canabras. What could be more natural than that? Besides, a healthy amount of disobedience guarantees that people won't pester you with lectures and nonsense as often. A dozen tutors responsible for my upbringing can attest to that. Provoking the capital would be unwise, and we're trying to avoid unpleasant consequences, not expedite them. I'm sure that was merely an extravagant jest on the Count's part. How does inviting the High Priest to a festival help? Without a doubt, we should remain loyal to the Queen and respect the hierarchy, but that doesn't mean we have to kowtow to the Royal Council whenever they ask. I think we should neither do their bidding nor seek to quarrel with them. Rather, we should take a middle path. The High Priest of Nerosian is a powerful figure, yet he's not a schemer or a politician. By inviting him to a festival, we both show that we are not cutting ties with Nerosian and letting them know that we have influential friends and are not about to buckle under the Royal Council. Do you think ignoring the capital's worries is a good idea? What are they going to do about it? We're the ones protecting them from the demons and not the other way around. Having loyalties from the capital is great, but there are more important things, like having the loyalties of our own soldiers. When the demons come, what will we do? Shake our fists and say that we've got powerful friends in Nerosian? Why, that's true. Who needs to stay friends with those who supply you with provisions, recruits, and weapons? And there's certainly no reason to fear the base jealousy and envy at the sight of your glory might and get the better of common sense, because that's never happened before. Unlocks the religious feast decree. Energy points increased by 20% and finance income points reduced by 10% for 20 days. For 30 days. Energy increases, but finance decreases. Cost of recruiting mercenary units reduces by 7.5%. Material points income reduces by 25%. Jesus. Helping those in need. Crusade morale increases by 10 or by 20 if crusade morale is below 0. Finance points increase by 10%. It would help if I knew what the hell finance points were used for. Uh... I think I want the finance points. Plus, it doesn't cost me money to do this. We'll hold parade in Her Majesty's honor. I'm glad that you've listened to my proposal. Making friends in the Royal Council will go a long way. It's good that we've got off on the right foot. There will be plenty more issues requiring your decision soon, but I do not doubt that we will handle them just as expediently. Hail, Commander. Dorgalinda Stranglehold, Chair of the Logistics Council. We've got ourselves an ugly situation that requires your decision. I hope I won't get in any way if I join you. I think I could give you some good advice here if you don't mind. Thankfully, this council will benefit from my vast experience surviving with gear that consists of rocks and sticks, and where any dinner that's not squirming on your plate is considered a feast. All in all, kind of like our crusade. I won't lie, our logistics are a mess. We need more of everything, and what we do have is in disarray. Crates of provisions are rotting away in storehouses because some idiot quartermaster spilled beer on the papers. And fools are not the worst problem. There's also theft. Some officers grease palms to get a helmet with a stylish plumage or fancy blade from Nerosian. Meanwhile, that means our ordinary soldiers are being armed with barely more than kitchen knives, hammers, and tongs. It's time to give the entire logistics stash the bum rush. The question is, where do we find capable and honest people to replace them? The scoundrels must be replaced with decent, honorable people, selfless souls who have proven that they put their comrades' lives above all else, especially their own wealth. Surely that will take the best care of our soldiers. Let's get some veterans on the job, people who have their fill of the front lines and who know firsthand what it's like for a common soldier, what the rations taste like, and how the boots are always the wrong size. My suggestion is to call some experienced, well-connected supply officers from Nerosian, let them leave their cushy jobs in Mendiv and work up a sweat for the good of the crusade. Dorgalinda, what's the council's responsibilities? It deals with all matters relating to supplying the army. Most issues will be trivial and undeserving of your attention. However, from time to time, serious decisions will need to be made, and that's when I'll convene the council. I have questions for the council. Why were you assigned to head the council? Over my many years of quartermaster duty, I've managed to develop a bit of reputation for myself. The units I'm responsible for are always properly equipped, armed, and fed. Thieves, scatterbrains, and reprobates promptly get the boot. Bureaucrats who never seem to have anything miraculously find everything they need after meeting with me. In short, don't you worry, Commander, I'm right where I belong. Lan, how could you be of use? I know a thing or two about gathering weapons and provisions. Compared to the war for survival we had to wage underground, you guys have it easy up here. If things go badly, I can teach your troops to live off the land and how to craft decent weapons from junk. They'll have memories of Land's special stew for years. Not sure if those will be fond memories, but they'll remember for sure. Arushale, what are you doing on the council? You think I shouldn't have joined? It's just, well, I've spent a lot of time studying how armies work, both Crusaders and demonic. When I was spying, I think my advice might be useful, or at least I hope it will be. But if I'm a bother, I'll leave. She has no self-confidence. Alright, let's get opinions here. Arushale, what are you suggesting? A quartermaster's job is to care for the well-being of the soldiers they're equipped for in battle. That means the best people to appoint in the positions are the people who really care. Those who will keep the fighters warm, fed, and properly armed. Maybe they won't have the most experience, but that's alright. It's easier to teach someone numbers and how to run a warehouse than it is to instill a conscience in them. Lan, what did you advise? In our tribe, we believe the hunter's gear should be entrusted to the most seasoned hunter. To those who stalked the prey themselves and learned the price of a mistake in outfitting. An old bowstring, a dull spear, a tattered cloak the hard way. I think that's how it should be in the army. Whoever is responsible for supplying must know war firsthand. They must have dragged themselves through the mud and battlefield, seen with their own eyes how the rotted strap or a boot one size too large can lead to a soldier's death. They must have eaten their share of rotten cabbages and seen the carts of horseshoes and pots pull up to their position instead of ammunition because of some clerical error. Assign new quartermasters from the veterans, like Dor Galinda here. I bet they won't steal, and they won't let anyone else steal either. Dor Galinda? There are some great workers in Mendev who have been sitting in their homes for way too long. Let the Queen send them to us. Instead of counting buttons for frock coats of Nerosian Royal Guard, let them sort out our supplies, and they'll already have had connections in Nerosian. All trainable units get ready for anything. +2 to all saving throws. If land does it, only the essentials. Unit has +10% maximum HP. And Dor Galinda, equipment from the state. +1 bonus to attacks and saving throws. I'm going to go with a Ruchelet on this one. They'll make sure the soldiers are ready for whatever trouble the enemy might have in store for them. After all, other people's lives are depending on their work. How could they neglect such a responsibility? Then it's decided. No matter what our new quartermasters are like, there's no possible way they can be worse than what we have now. The results will be reported to you, and if anything else comes up, I'll call the council right away. Bruh. Orders to Irabeth. Let's go ahead and issue that decree for her. This is a diplomatic decree, I think. Military, royal, then you have diplomatic and logistical. A skilled craftsman can do some work on the relic. The relic will be augmented. What the hell is the relic?